You know, first it was the IRS, now the Department of Justice accused of targeting conservatives. The DOJ program Operation Choke is supposed to protect citizens from fraud, but instead it's reportedly being used to hurt businesses that don't support the Obama administration or policies that they don't like. A former chairman of the FDIC speaking out about the matter says Operation Choke Point is one of the most dangerous programs I have experienced in my 45 years of service. Operating without legal authority and guided by a political agenda, unelected officials at the DOJ are discouraging banks from providing basic banking services to lawful businesses simply because they don't like them. Well, our guest is Thomas Dupree. He was Deputy Assistant Attorney General under President George W. Bush. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you.
Tell us about this. This seems absolutely insane. The federal government saying to banks, loan here, don't loan here, be careful of this business, watch out for them. Maybe we don't agree with them, so shut them down. Is this true, and is it legal?
Well, it's very troubling at a minimum, and in many ways it feels like we've heard this song before. First it was the IRS, and now it's the Justice Department. And what I think is troubling about this is that if it's the view of the Justice Department or political officials within the Justice Department that these businesses are doing something illegal or fraudulent, well, the Justice Department has all sorts of tools in its arsenal to prosecute and to shut them down. It doesn't need to do things in this underhanded way where it's discouraging banks from doing sorts of things on the QT. Come out and prosecute them if they're doing something illegal. But if they're not and they're selling a lawful product and operating lawfully, then they should be left to compete unimpeded in the free market.
Well, let's look at some of the businesses the FDIC says, and they put it out in a federal document. Look out for these high-risk merchants. People engaged in ammunition sales, firearm sales, fireworks sales, tobacco sales, telemarketing. Is there something criminal or wrong on the face of these activities, Mr. Dupree?
There's nothing wrong on the face of it. And I think what's going on here is that you have folks within the administration who view these lawful businesses as unsavory. And they realize that they don't have the evidence to actually prosecute them for anything because they're operating lawfully. And so what they want to do is to discourage other entities in our financial system from doing business with them and maybe put them out of business that way, even if they don't have the goods to actually shut them down directly.
As we go out here, if a business feels that it's being targeted unfairly by the federal government, by the DOJ, and that loans are being shut down and credit is being shut down, what remedy do they have to respond?
Well, it's a tough situation. Ideally, you could take it up with the Justice Department themselves, but as we've seen, they may not exactly have open ears. Another thing that they can do is they can notify their congressmen about what's going on. I think Congress has been performing a very useful function by putting a spotlight on this program and really calling the administration to account and saying, justify what you're doing here. What right do you have to bring the resources of the government to bear on these lawful companies?
Thomas Dupree, we'll leave it there, and thank you for bringing the spotlight today early on a Sunday morning. Good to see you.
Perfect. Thank you. Likewise.